Hey guys, back with another video, and today we're going to be making a future type beat because that's what you guys wanted. So if you guys want to keep up with like news, polls, you know, I got all my socials in the description. That's how it be. Obviously, you know, support your boy, drop a like, comment, sub, you know, hit him with that. I'd appreciate it a lot. Any feedback, obviously throw in the comments because you know I love you guys. And yeah, we'll get straight into this future video. First things first, chose a preset from Analog Labs called Neptune Bells. Really good preset. I really enjoyed the sound. So this is the pattern I laid out, and as you can see, right, this second half of the melody that I made is just 5 semitones higher. So 1 2 3 4 5, boom. And you see how I've got this nice little chord going? What I've done pretty much is I've taken these notes from part of the chords and I've inverted them into higher octaves. And what that does is it allows the melody to fill up more room, so it sounds much more fuller. So this is what it sounds like. You know how it be, right? We gotta get a nice crisp bell sounds. Future just loves to rap over these kind of beats, so that's why I thought I'd play out. Sounds very nice, ambient, a bit of the trippy vibes. And for effects, we've got parametric EQ cutting off a few of the highs, a lot of the lows, and then for a reverb, Valhalla vintage verb. That's how we rock. Got a nice little mix out here. This is the preset, and this is how I edited it. Let me just up that a bit. So yeah, next sound that I used was Ambient Strings 2, again Analog Labs, because it's a go-to plugin 2021 plugin of the year. This is the pattern that I laid out, and as you can see, it's the same chords from the first melody, and again took it up 5 semitones. So this is what it sounds like. So that's what it sounds like. Again, a lot of ambience, very distant. I really enjoy that sound. So for effects, what we've got first of all, we've cut off a few of the highs out here, a lot of the lows to give it a much more ambient sound. I've just whacked on a crystallizer, just default. It just, I don't know what crystallizer does, but it sounds dope. Then, you know, we got Valhalla vintage verb, maxed out the mix. Next up, we got, yes, it's not Analog Lab this time. We've got Expand 2, one of my favorite plugins. It's really cheap. It's like a $10 if you go on like plugin, I don't know the websites, but it's hella cheap if you guys are looking for good plugins. And I picked a preset called Koto in the ethnic section. And what I did was I just took a few of the notes from the melody beforehand. So again, they're all the same notes being played. And what I did was I went on magnets, turned it up to 1/6, played all these notes out, and I made it have like a nice little strumming sound. So this is what it sounds like. So when you hear this, like, this is just all Future vibes. It's just really screaming his name. So I thought it sounded really dope. And to make it sound the way I did, first of all, cutting off a few of the harshes, taking out all the lows. You can't go wrong with some RC20. I added some bit of vintage, you know, some wobble, make it sound like a bit old. I thought it was a pretty nice sound. Then I added more reverb because you can't go wrong with it. Then what I did was, once I got all of these, I right-clicked, quick rendered audio clips. I rendered out all the audio clips, put them in reverse, and I took it up by 2 semitones. So what happens is, together, this is what all 3 of them sound like. Now, when you hear that melody, it screams, and I mean it screams Future. It's like, it sounds really complex, but as you just saw, they were all the same notes, just different voicing, and when you throw it in reverse, it sounds 11 out of 10. Next up, we're going to be getting into the drums, so let's get into it. First off, we're going straight in with the, yes, I'll be doing that every time I say it. And as you guys can see, followed the root notes, which were F and A sharp. The reason that's the root notes compared to the original melody is just bear in mind, when I reversed it and I took everything up by 2 semitones, this is what you get, F and A sharp. Max out the velocities to make the 808s hit really hard. I use the basic 808, but it's the Z808, and again, you will literally find it in any Reddit. So what I've done was I've added a few rolls, a few octaves up, you know, made it sound very nice. The drums have to go crazy if you're gonna make a future beat with a simple melody, and then a nice little switch up at the end. And this is what it sounds like. You know, gotta keep it going brazy. Like this 808 pairing was going crazy. So I mess with it a lot. I think it sounds hella hard. And what I did for effects was I cut out frequencies below 30 hertz because the human ear can't pick it up, and a few of the highs because it had like a little bit of a fuzz. I had the 3D soft clipper as well. So when there's a lot of 808 rolls, sometimes within the volume, it can kick up a bit more. So that keeps it in check whilst giving the 808 still a nice kick. Next thing, right, we have like the most complex pattern of them all, the clapped. And as you can see, I've raised all the velocities up, just so, you know, it's clear and loud, and this is what it sounds like. You can't go wrong with a simple clap pattern. For the clap, I added an EQ, took out all the lows within the clap, and a few of the highs. Next up, we've got the hi-hats. So, Future has crazy hi-hats. Like again, when the melodies are simple, the drums have to go crazy. So I added a few rolls here, you know, here and there, making that spicy. And with this little part, I changed the velocity a bit, so it just sounds pleasant to the ear. The hi-hat itself, raised up the outage a bit. This is the Lex Luger hat, and this is what it sounds like. So when I decided to make the pattern, I bear in mind that there's going to be a crazy 808s going on. So even though you want your 808s has to be going crazy, you still want to give room between them, so it doesn't sound like it's just way too much and the artist can't go over it. Because remember, when you're making these beats are being sent to artists. So when you keep a simple melody and you have crazy drums, you don't want everything to go way too crazy. So you gotta learn how to make room for the drums in different spaces. And for effects, I've literally just added an EQ, highs, lows. Next thing I added was a snare for accenting, a nice trap snare. And this is the pattern I laid out. Keeping it simple, and as you can see, this and this are the same place, but I just added this little extra snare to give it a bit of variation in the beat. And for effects, just EQ again. It's just about, again, if you have good sound selection, you won't need effects on your stuff. Then we've got the kick, right? Use the rack kick. Everyone knows what the rack kick is. It's a great kick, standard. Max out the velocities to give it extra punch. And as you can see, right, I didn't add the kick to every time the 808 hits, because if you space out your kicks, it makes the 808s hit twice as hard in the final product. And this is the pattern I went with. So yeah, it's a nice simple pattern. I added a few double kicks, so it would sound nicer and be a bit unexpected. And for effects, again, same as the 808s, lows 30 hertz and below, and a few of the highs out. Last but not least, for the drums, I added an open hat, and I layered it on top of the kick so it can give it a nice extra punch. So this is what it sounds like. Simple hat pattern, one on the start of every 4-bar loop and one on the 2, and then just one a bit before to kind of add like a little bit of like a oomph, so when the second hat hits on this part. For effects, literally just frequency. Like, it's key when you use your drums or you have like any melodies, you want to always cut out, in my opinion, frequencies below 200 and below, because you want to keep as much room for like the bass and the sub bass sound so they would really come through. And this is what all the drums sound like together. Right, so you see what I'm saying? When I made the hearts and the 808 patterns and everything, they all come together really well, but you have to know when you want to put your spaces in the crazy 808 rolls and when you have the crazy hi-hat rolls. You want to know how to space it out properly. So that's the full beat done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll be playing the full beat in the outro. Again, thank you for making it to the end. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, you know, drop it in the comments, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. You know how it'd be. However, hope you guys enjoyed the video, of course. You know how it'd be. It's JJ out here, so take it easy.